Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
No
Okay.
worries.
And that summer, a few of my friends went to Prague, and we like sat down to have a beer on like this area overlooking the river, and we looked down the river, and there's a whole ski slalom set up for people who are like set up. And I was like, oh my god, I've seen it in real life. I feel like I'm shocked it exists.
Could have seen it.
Like I'm shocked. It's real.
Ryan.
Also, guys, I'm switching y'all's correspondence so I can be closer to my camera and they can be closer to, and you can get better shots.
Yeah, sure. Good. Mic test 1 2 1 2. Mic test 1 2. It is Friday. This is it. All right. Hopefully this is it. I'm hoping it's the goal, the dream. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Gonna have a great weekend. Plan. No Valentine. Perfect.
Just as a reminder, guys, the yellow, we all have to be this way, the opposite side of the yellow. So we have people walk if they need to.
He's gonna be like right here. Okay.
Jeffries was at Edwards, like Johnson. I don't know if I want that. Maybe every color. Come on. Every color. Unless they mix up the location. I actually did get a lot of it. He did give a chance to get more people. Yeah, he was very available. I wasn't always just chasing him along this axis. I'm guessing they might not as many in it's only one agency. Just the same. That was a conflict. I didn't take that. I wasn't even there. Were you? I saw the pictures. What? There was a shot and like that was a good one. Mine is like really critical. This is cool. It has happened. Like, I forget what I'm recording, but it's gonna be like nothing maybe of that level. Like when Feinstein told his name, but also coming back. I got some notes that broke that. Yeah. Like there's something like that. Let me see. Like when I was hold on, it's fine. Take it. Air gun. Yeah. Too late. Too nice. At a hearing, so sometimes like if he's holding his neck, like if she Jacob, that's in your Munich. We don't have the kind of luxury. Not jet setting around the world, to Norway, to EU countries. You know what's funny though? I wasn't in Munich this morning. And I went, it's easy to say that when you don't have to cut the check. You can also go in the cottage. You're 7 feet tall. It's just as fun as it sounds.
So the line on the floor. Thank you. No, I was. You were. Thank you.
That's glorious. 2 years ago, somebody thought that was like, because I remember, I got a friend, there was a period where it was heavy. Yeah, and I was like, no.
How are you?
Yeah. I had my dates wrong. I thought it was not until the 22nd. So that's good. We missed 25. Right. Well, back in the day, it was kind of like mix it all. Unless it was like completely unbelievable. Like, it's already the most fun lines. Like, controlled sheet. Just did some one. She really hated this. So what time is the Ferrari? Yeah. Those days are fast. You don't drive it in on a flatbread truck. You and Al, just let us in, and we don't have to work on the yeah, she would do stuff like that. Yeah, where is that? So she was definitely better than either all starter because he's that's cool. That's actually up there, kind of not bad because it's close. It's not easy. Yeah. You have to walk a block in either direction. Yeah. Takes you half hour. You have to do all these. Takes you half hour to get there. You're late. Bantam is a nice venue. It's for he's only and logistics. When you get there, it's logistics. So those are some specific restrictions for educators. Oh, that's interesting. Makes sense. I gave that guy yeah, I agree with that. You got to keep it weekly.
Good afternoon, everyone. It appears increasingly likely that at midnight tonight, DHS funding for the Coast Guard, for FEMA, and for TSA will lapse. Why? Because Donald Trump and Republicans have decided that they have zero interest in getting ICE under control. Can people know ICE is out of control and that they need to be reined in? And Democrats are working hard to do just that. We believe that taxpayer dollars should be used to make life more affordable for everyday Americans, not brutalize or kill them, which is what we've seen in Minneapolis with the cold-blooded killing of Renee Nicole Good and Alex Preddy. In this country, immigration enforcement should be fair, it should be just, and it should be humane. That's not what's taking place right now in the United States of America, where law-abiding immigrant families are being violently targeted and American communities are being brutalized. Dramatic changes are needed at the Department of Homeland Security in terms of ICE and CBP. At that, Republicans have decided to shut down parts of the federal government once again. Questions?
Mr. Leader, the DHS is a massive agency. It's going to impact millions of people. Shouldn't Congress be working to solve that problem?
I'm here, ready, willing, and able to have a conversation with anyone, anytime, any place. That's always been the Democratic posture. Mike Johnson has again sent House Republicans home. This is the same approach, failed approach, that Speaker Johnson and Republicans took during the 43-day Trump Republican shutdown in the fall. Strange to me that they would decide to take a similar approach. It didn't work out for them. It didn't work for the American people. And during that 43-day government shutdown, we made one consistent demand: extend the Affordable Care Act tax credits. And at the end of it, when it was all said and done, one thing happened in the House of Representatives. We passed a 3-year extension of the Affordable Care Act tax credits. The failed strategy of Republicans, it didn't work out then, it's not going to work out now. And we've drawn a hard line in the sand on behalf of the American people, and we're not going to allow the Congress to cross it. ICE needs to be dramatically reformed. Period. Full stop.
Mr. Leader.
Thanks. It's our expectation that we will respond to the unserious offer that Republicans have made that clearly omits things that need to happen, including but not limited to our demand that the Fourth Amendment be respected, that judicial warrants be required before ICE agents can violently storm private property or the homes of the American people. That's completely and totally unacceptable. And yet Republicans refuse to adopt that position. It's completely and totally unacceptable that Republicans don't want to see an independent investigation of ICE agents who broke the law. Our view is that state and local authorities should have the ability to investigate criminally and prosecute criminally any agent who breaks the law and engages in violence against the American people or law-abiding immigrant families. This is America. No one is above the law. And we do not trust the Department of Justice. Y'all saw the embarrassing display by the Sole Attorney General the other day here on Capitol Hill. Who would trust her, or who would trust the weaponized Department of Justice to actually independently investigate wrongdoing by Trump administration officials or by ICE agents? That's a reasonable demand. It's also a hard line in the sand. We also believe that the money that has been used to hire untrained agents who are masked, hiding their identities, brutalizing the American people is is an unacceptable use of taxpayer dollars. And we need to actually make sure that the money that's being spent by the Trump administration is being used to actually improve the quality of life of the American people. And so there are a variety of different areas that clearly the administration has fallen short of doing things that make things better for the American people. Until that happens, fortunately, it appears that Donald Trump and the Republicans have decided to shut down other parts of the Department of Homeland Security.
Mr. Leader, so
Yes.
then just to be clear, can you just walk us through each step? So are Democrats going to present another offer to the White House? Are you expecting another counter offer back? Or at this point, do you want a direct meeting with the president to try to close the deal?
We haven't called for a direct meeting at this point, but again, we're ready to sit down with anyone, anytime, any place, if they are serious about the types of dramatic reforms that are necessary to get ICE under control. The American people know ICE is out of control. They need to be reined in. They're brutalizing everyday Americans and law-abiding immigrant families. They're not targeting violent felons who are here illegally. The president made that promise. He lied to the American people. So it's my expectation that at some point, Democrats in the House and the Senate jointly will respond to the latest unserious offer formally, and then it will once again be in the hands of Donald Trump and Republicans to decide what's next.
Thank you, Leader Jeffries. There are going to be workers at TSA, FEMA, Coast Guard who are looking at this and saying, I got nothing to do with ICE, but I'm not getting paid right now. What do you want them to know right now?
Well, it's our view. We're going to continue to stand up for TSA officers and agents. We're going to stand up for FEMA. We're going to stand up for the Coast Guard. I think Rosa DeLauro has introduced legislation to ensure that other parts of the DH agencies that have nothing to do with ICE or CBP are funded. Republicans rejected that. They've decided they want to inflict pain on the American people. We know this is the case because that's the approach that Republicans took in the fall. It didn't work out for them, and now they want to repeat the same failed playbook. In the fall, they were trying to inflict pain, literally steal food from the mouths of hungry children by failing to pay SNAP benefits. That was the Republican strategy. It was the Republican strategy to try to constrain flights all across America. Again, in the fall, they were doing this because they didn't want to make health care affordable for tens of millions of people. This is extraordinary stuff. And now they don't want to get ICE under control. They don't want to make sure that taxpayer dollars aren't being abused to violently brutalize American citizens and in some cases kill them. So we're going to continue to hold the line on behalf of the American people. And it's on Republicans. If the Coast Guard shuts down, if FEMA is shut down, and if TSA is shut down. Thanks.
If DHS is shut down on February 24th, do you think that Trump should postpone his State of the Union?
That's an open question. We'll have more to say about that next week.
When it comes to the line of communication between you and the White House, 2 weeks ago, part of your argument for why you didn't support what came up from the Senate was that Trump never engaged with you. Has that line of communication, even if not with Trump directly, improved this?
Well, there's communication staff to staff between the White House and House Democrats, and we've reiterated again to both House Republicans and to the Trump administration, no one speaks for House Democrats but House Democrats. And if we're going to arrive at an agreement here, it's important for everyone to be at the table. That's 5 corners. That's the White House, that's Democrats, that's the Senate Democrats, that's House and Senate Republicans. If we're going to do the types of things that are necessary to get ICE under control.
Just go back to what you said at the top about the judicial warrants. That seems to be just a real hard line on both sides. And I just want to back up and say it did sound like there was a little bit of movement yesterday from Leader Thune on masks, where he suggested the idea of, some, with the doxing issue. It seemed like perhaps he had said, there might be a landing place, so maybe marrying some. I don't know exactly, but can you just go back to the issue of the warrants, and is there any kind of landing
Seems to me, based on the silence of House and Senate Republicans today, literally hours away from a partial government shutdown, that the extremists here in Congress know that they have a weak hand. Their position is very weak, and they can't defend the type of violent, out of control brutality that the American people have seen being inflicted on them by ICE, taxpayer being used to brutalize them. So our view related to mass and a whole host of other things that we laid out comprehensively in our 10-point list of demands. These are the type of things that need to happen in order to rein ICE and CBP in. And we'll respond to the latest that was sent over by the White House. Again, it falls short. And by the way, the notion that Tom Homan or any of these other folks can just say things and expect that all is good as a result of it, no, we're not down with any of that. Every single change needs to be ironclad and part of the law.
And can you say, will your counter-proposal, Democrats' counter-proposal, go back today?
House and Senate Democrats are working feverishly together, both at the leadership level and at the appropriations level. Thanks.
You mentioned funding for the Coast Guard and TSA. What do you say to those Americans who question the point of the shutdown? This was given 7 times their budget in the president's reconciliation bill and is going to continue operations.
The one big ugly bill is going to be an incredibly important discussion that we're going to have with the American people over the next few days, next few weeks, or beyond, depending on what Republicans decide to do. The notion, and we want the American people to understand this, that your taxpayer dollars in the one big ugly bill were used to provide massive tax breaks for Republican billionaire donors and to give DHS a $191 billion slush fund, which includes $75 billion to ICE, being used to brutalize you. Republicans did that in one big ugly bill. And they also enacted the largest cut to Medicaid at the same time in American history, ripped health care away from 14 million Americans in that very same bill, the one big ugly bill. And by the way, they also enacted the largest cut to SNAP in American history, $186 billion in that one big ugly bill. And so we're going to put that toxic legislation at the center of this discussion. And you're absolutely correct. Part of the reason we're in this situation right now is because of what Republicans did on a partisan basis in creating a slush fund used to violently brutalize the American people, unleashing untrained, masked ICE agents in American communities all across the country. Unacceptable, unconscionable, and un-American. Now, the reason why we have to have this conference on behalf of the American people is because in a spending bill, we have the ability to legislate dramatic change. That's what we're doing. And the reason why we're confronting the possibility of a shutdown in a few hours is because Republicans are unwilling to enact change that is dramatic. We believe any changes should be bold, should be meaningful, should be dramatic, should be transformational, should get ICE completely and totally under control.
If this extends into a week from now when the House and the Senate are back, do you think that Representative DeLauro's bill has a chance of making it to the floor to fund these other agencies, departments under DHS, except for perhaps ICE?
It's definitively my view, I believe it's the view of the House Democratic Caucus, that the Trump administration and Republicans should not hold the TSA hostage, should not hold FEMA hostage, and should not hold the Coast Guard hostage. And so Mike Johnson should call the Congress back again. I mean, are we going to be on a similar trajectory where literally during the 43-day Trump Republican shutdown, House Republicans were on a 7-week taxpayer-funded vacation? I'm here. Where are they? Again, we're ready, we're willing, we're able. sit down to solve this problem, but it's got to be decisive. It's got to be dramatic. It's got to be bold and transformational and meaningful. And the ball is in the Republican court right now. Thank you, everyone.
Good job.
This is what I have them for positive attitude. After everything I do, they have to go, good job.
She knows she's here for him.
Right, that's right. What did you say?
Please.
Oh, thanks, bro. Why is it not working?
Can't be sure.
Can't be sure. Got it. All right, I think you're done for the day after this. Appreciate you.
You don't have anything else? That's why we're
No, I gotta go back to the bureau, but no, we're good.